Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this replay sponsor or this shoutcast sponsored by lucomputers.com. Go ahead and check out their website for StarCraft 2 tested computers on the top right hand side of their homepage. Now back to the game, we now have Zerglings running in, trying to keep track. DIMAGA does not know about this expansion to the top left, and there's now a planetary fortress coming into play. So with 2 Vikings and a planetary fortress, this command center or planetary fortress will be able to hold off a lot of Zergling harassment. But there needs to be some missile turrets. Without missile turrets, that will be exposed to air. Now back over here, we finally have Ultralists coming in. We have a large number of Ultralists, 11 Ultralists now in position. We do have some Marines and Marauders trying to take down these destructible rocks over here. So now Strelok may be able to get away with having that island expansion unopposed. Back over here, however, DIMAGA now running off of 3 hatcheries. This expansion fully saturated as well, now sitting on 57 harvesters. So a lot of harvesters, very, very strong income for DIMAGA. And now Strelok, because of that initial boost of all of these mules, will be able to mine out very, very easily as well. It looks as though he does not have a rally point set up off of these SCVs. And now we have a very, very large Marine Marauder medevac and siege tank ball. No more Thors though. Thors really just too easily taken apart by those infestors, so does not want to give that over. But we do have a fair amount of corruptors now in the air, but those corruptors are, I think that's an overzealous amount of corruptors, as those corruptors are not going to really be able to deal any real damage. SCV is now moving out for some reason, getting destroyed. There's corruptors now getting plenty of sight on the base, perhaps trying to take down some of these some of those Vikings. Yeah, gonna be able to shoot one of those Vikings down very easily. That, yeah, moving and shooting, dealing a lot of damage. The corruptors do have a base armor of 2, so only taking 24 damage as opposed to 28 damage from those unupgraded Vikings at this point in the game. Back over here, Marines and Marauders now trying to take down this central location, and now we see a Mouse Strelok with that very popular mass planetary fortress strategy. Planetary fortresses have a base armor of 3. You can upgrade them to an armor of 5 and upgrade the range of that cannon. And then Zerg players really have a hard time trying to take them down, except for Broodlords. Really, because you can start repairing the command center very easily with SCVs. If you surround a command center with SCVs with auto repair, essentially nothing can really take it down unless you try to focus down those SCVs, and that's very difficult to do as well. Now, anyways, Marines and siege tanks moving out with Marauders and medevacs in the air. Only 3 medevacs for a very large bio army, and now all come these Ultralists and Corruptors in the air. Corruptors gonna head after those medevacs, and those medevacs are gonna really deny any sort of escape for the Marine infantry units. However, all the Ultralists were taken down. So now down to a 1975 army compared to Mouse Strelok's 55,550, and these Marines now upgraded to 1, able to deal a lot of damage towards these units over here. So Marines moving out, gonna be able to take down this high yield mineral expansion over here, as these Corruptors are not able to deal any real damage. Now upgrading to a Greater Spire finally, but will it be in time? Broodlords really needed to come in, and now causing corruption onto these siege tanks. So those corruption onto that siege tank, those siege tanks take additional damage, additional 20% damage as those Ultralists try to move in. And now are we going to get more and more corruption? That really will be important. Will these siege tanks be able to do more? Zerglings now running by as well, just trying to deal more and more damage. Over here, this Marine Marauder ball able to just take down this expansion and perhaps this expansion as well. So DIMAGA in a base race, and that is never a good idea against a Terran player. Now we have these Corruptors moving back. We are sitting at tier 2 with this Greater Spire, sorry, tier 3 with this Greater Spire, but not enough minerals and gas in order to tech those Broodlords. Now Ultralists trying to come through. This is a very low hit point ball, and these Ultralists may be able to get a lot of kills. Yeah, you can see what happens with that splash damage, and these 2 units quickly getting 14 and 11 kills. 1 Zergling down over here. And now this is anyone's game still. Really, I want to see some Broodlords from the Zerg player and see how the Terran player is going to respond. He does have a starport with the reactor, but he's currently only pumping out medevacs. So to try to supplement with that very strong Marine Marauder ball that he's been able to mass up so easily. Now in comes some Ultralists now dealing more and more damage. Corruptors now in the air trying to take down this command center. Corruptors, even though that that command center is very, very large. It is not massive, so those corruptors are not going to be able to deal that extra damage towards that command center to take it down. Over here, still does not know about that expansion to the north, and now perhaps going to try to sit over here and wait and turn into broodlords. Still does not have enough minerals or gas. Really needs to start mining like crazy, perhaps even some long distance mining. Harvester count 33 harvesters versus 53, so this is very, very bad over here. Ultralisk now getting caught up as this very, very large siege tank marauder marine army still able to dish out that damage. Now DIMAGA sitting over here only getting 640 minerals every game minute, and now Ultralisk sitting over here. So what's gonna happen? One Ultralisk sitting here on that low ground, Corruptor sitting over here. Will he be able to macro up anything else? More and more units. And now what is this? This is just a planetary fortress. Corruptors in the air, not really able to do anything. Missile turrets now being thrown down as this large siege tank medevac army coming out. Ultralisk will not be able to deal the damage, as all of these siege tanks are going to be able to do a lot of splash hits onto these units, trying to pull away from all of these. And now we see the Ultralisk trying to go after these units here, but unable to. And now this siege tank army going to go ahead and roll up onto this high ground and just take down this hatchery, and DIMAGA's going to have to say GG. There we go, DIMAGA saying GG, and Strelok takes this game on Lost Temple. I believe I have 2 more games to cast in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.